Hey guys, welcome to Sippin' and Spillin' with Sid from 3 Mississippi. Uh, Happy Christmas Eve. I think I got it right. Um, Sorry I've been MIA the last few days. As you can maybe hear, I don't sound amazing, but I feel much better. Monday and Tuesday, basically, for the most part, stayed in bed. Excuse me. Took my elderberry syrup and took my drugs and got some rest and drank plenty of water and did all the things. And I feel like it's really breaking up today. So I probably sound worse than I did a couple days ago, but um, but I'm feeling better. So that's good because I'm like, man, I knew the second half of this week, I'm like, I'm swamped. Like, I don't have time to be sick. I have places I need to be. I have places the kid needs to be, and things that we have to do. And just, I don't want to be sick. It's one thing to have like a little cold or be a little under the weather, around Christmas, but I don't want to be sick and like not be able to go to church and not be able to go to functions and stuff. So I'm very glad that I am feeling better. Um, so, um, didn't get a whole lot done the last few days, as you can imagine. I did have to leave to go pick up Frankie from her FFA Christmas party on Monday evening. Um, and then Mike's actually got, in fact, I'll walk you guys out there in a minute. Mike's actually got a deer strung up out back. Not his deer, our neighbor's deer. Mike did go hunting last night with Frankie. They went to another section of our neighbor's property where they've previously seen deer when they were scouting and stuff, but no deer walked near them, or they didn't see nothing. So that was a bummer for them last night. But our neighbor Ross got one, and we have a deal with Ross because he doesn't like to mess with his own deer. So um, he when he gets one, he calls us and or brings it over, and they had to go find it because it was right when it was still legal to shoot, but it was getting dark fast, and he was having trouble finding it. So Mike and Frankie had just gotten back from hunting and had no luck, and he called, and they turned around, went right back out to another section of the property and helped. God, we were just shocking each other left and right, aren't we, buddy? Um, and turned around and helped him go find the deer that he had downed. And it was quite a shot that he took. I guess it was, according to Mike, it was close to 200 yards from where he was. So that was pretty good. And it was a good shot. So probably dropped him right away. He just couldn't find it. Um, and it was a little spike. So nice meat on this bad boy. I'll walk you over there in a second and show you. Um, but pretty cool. So I think tonight, um, tonight we've got our live on 3 Mississippi, which, oh shoot, I didn't set that up yet. I need to go do that. I had to go take Frankie. Today got a little weird. I had to take Frankie to the dentist for her cleaning that we'd had to reschedule when she was sick. And my retainer that I sleep with, because I clench and grind my teeth really bad, I had cracked it from clenching and grinding my teeth so badly. So I had to have another bottom tray made. And they wanted to have me come in and like check it out, make sure that since they weren't the ones that made the original set and they were going off of the molds that I'd had done in my previous dentist in California, they wanted to make sure that it was fitting right. So they had to check that over. But anyway, so I had to take her to the dentist, and that was kind of earlier, and then it took longer, and then we had to run to the store. So kind of got a weird start to the day with all of that. Plus, I'm probably not moving quite as fast because I'm still kind of, how if you've been sick for a few days and then you're trying to get back in your rhythm, it kind of takes a minute. So I'm kind of in that right now. And then we have to turn around and go back out later because we have our Christmas pantry boxes at church to go do. So I gotta round her back up and go back into town for that and get gas because Mike's had my truck all week because he was building the outdoor classroom for the ag program at her school, and so he's been going back and forth to town with the truck because he's hauling lumber and whatever, which is fine. But when I got in my truck today to go into town, I was like, oh, I'm almost out of gas. I was like, it was pretty full when I last drove it. But so I need to make sure I go get gas today when I go back into town for church. So, because I mean, I check it all the time, but when I don't drive it and I know where I left it at, I don't think about it. I'm like, oh, I need to, because I try not to let it get below a quarter of a tank because we live, 15 minutes from the closest gas station. That I try to make sure that I have at least a half a tank, you know, all the time. But a quarter tank is like my bare minimum that I like because the quarter tank will get me to the nearest big city. So like if somebody has to go to the ER or whatever, um, that'll get me to, Tupelo or West Point, But I do like to have more of a cushion than that. Um, and with all the activity lately, the last couple days, no way. I haven't seen her for 2 days. Mike saw her yesterday, but I didn't see her. But my schedule was also weird because I usually see her in the evenings and in the morning. But in the evenings, there was lots of coming and going. And then in the morning, she had already left. So I didn't see her, but he said he saw her. So I was like, okay, well, that's good. Hopefully I'll see her tomorrow morning because I like my little no way cuddles in the morning with Bunko too. So, but Bunko, if it's cold or if we're hanging out around outside, he's with us. And she really only likes me. She's very skittish of other people. So like even if Frankie goes up to her, she'll kind of go hide or go under the truck or go by the shop or something. So she's just a little more like leery of people, a little more skittish. But she'll sit in my lap and let me pick her up and love on her. She just only likes me, which I'm fine with. That's fine. Um, but I think Mike's actually working on a video right now because I was sick this week and I was getting stressed because the last 2 weeks we didn't get our second video for the week out. I only did one video a week um, because there had been so much going on and I hadn't filmed anything. Um, and I kept telling him, I was like, I don't have anything. We need to film something. But stuff kept happening. But nothing exciting that was like film worthy, just, you know, silly life stuff that sometimes we show you guys because it might be a little entertaining, but sometimes it's just not. And so we're like, nobody wants to watch me do laundry or scrub a toilet. Like that's just not exciting. Um, so I think he's working on the outdoor classroom video, and then we're going to be working on kind of another, I guess you could call it like a prepper video um, for possibly for Sunday. Um, so I'll hopefully have time in the next day or so to get that filmed and edited. There's something kind of neat that one of the reasons why I wanted to go ahead and do this one, got a neat thing that I want to show you guys that I'm excited about because, as much as I love, you know, taking elderberry syrup and, taking apple cider vinegar and drinking fire cider and, making sure that we eat healthy and all of those things, there's times where you also need antibiotics and there's times where you also need things like that, and they're good to kind of have in your med bag for when things are not going your way or when something bad happens or if there's a big storm or whatever, to kind of have those things available. So this will very much pertain to that. So I'm excited to share that with you guys because, as somebody who worked in the drug industry for 20 years, I am the last person that wants to take drugs just because I have a cold. Like I don't just go to the doctor because I've got a little cold. Like I will treat it myself with homeopathic and, um, treat the symptoms essentially and give my body rest. But there's times where, if it's something that's become very severe, like I've had in my life over the years, kind of have grown out of them, but even into my 20s, I would get severe sinus infections. And I would get, when I was younger, I would get like terrible, terrible ear infections due to my bad sinuses. And Frankie kind of had the same thing growing up. Anyway, and there's times where, where you need that stuff to really help get a hold of it. Anyway, this will kind of pertain to that and be something that you can keep on hand for those of us that live further away from doctors or in situations where, things have hit the fan and you need to have them, readily available in case there's an emergency or something. It's always a good idea to have some of those things on hand. Anyway, so this will be good for that. Hi, handsome. You're such a good boy. Yeah. Beulah has been doing much better. She's been taking her mare magic, which a lot of people had suggested in some comments, and a lot of people just online in general had suggested it. And it seems to be helping. We're actually right now we are at day 10. So the first 10 days you give them a double dose, and then you go down to 1 scoop a day. And so today was her 10th day, and it does seem to be making a difference. So I'm going to keep it up, obviously. She was a little cranky today, but I think part of that was because it was a lot colder today, and kind of just, I think she was just grumpy this morning. Sometimes you just wake up on the wrong side of the bed. So she was a little short with me this morning, but not bad. Not like she had been. So I'm like, I'll take that. That's fine. Not like this one over here. He's just always wants love. He doesn't care. He's just a happy boy all the time. He's kind of my favorite. Don't tell anybody else, but he's kind of the coolest cat in the history of cats. He really is. But he makes me nervous though, because he does like to go running out into the pasture, into the tall grass, and I'm like, bro, I'm like, you see something, you run. I always give him pep talks, and then like if there's a storm coming, I tell him he needs to stay close to home, and he always listens. I don't know if he understands me, but he does listen when I tell him he needs to stay close to home. Like if I hear coyotes or whatever, he will just stay here all day. He won't go anywhere. If it's like a bad storm day or whatever, he knows. He's like, I just stay here. He's good. He's a good boy. I promised you guys I was going to show you that deer, and then I almost forgot. We're going to walk over there. I get distracted by cute, fluffy kitties. So let's go see. Let's go for a little walk. Show you guys real quick. I'm sure Bunko will follow me. Oh, that's Frankie making all that noise. Oh, are you feeding her? You're feeding her? She's like, no, I'm feeding my other horse. Wait, what are you giving her? Why? Because that's what you've been giving her. No, I've been giving her rolled oats. Well, where are these rolled oats? I had a whole conversation with you about it. I know, and I looked for them and I didn't find them, and I figured you were talking about sweet peas. Nope. I've been feeding her sweet peas every time I feed her. Oh no, I've been giving her just rolled oats. It's just plain. Well, I'll show you when you. I'll show you. They're right there. No. There's a big bag of rolled oats. I'll show you. Sorry, guys. Anyway, this. Yeah, he didn't finish quartering it yet. He left it out here because it's cold. It's not as cold as it was earlier, but it's colder now. But nice looking deer. Nice looking little deer with a little spike. So so that's that. So he's gonna have to get to work on that here pretty soon, I'd imagine. But and Kusi's gonna be ready for dinner here before too much longer. I put him up for dinner, and then I do the same thing in the morning. I put him up for, I'll put him up first, and then I'll go, take care of the horse and do the birds and whatever. And then when I come back out from doing them and running back and forth, then I'll let him back out with the goats in the morning and at night. And that way he has a chance to eat without them getting into his food. So it's been working. Man, it's crazy to me. If you move the leaves, it's like bright green grass everywhere underneath. It's nuts. But man, it looked like snow out here this morning. Everything was frozen solid. Both the troughs were frozen. I had to break them on the top. I think one of my goldfish froze. So, but that happens. Beulah's giving her attitude over there right now. It's kind of funny. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up so I can get it uploaded so it'll post today, because I feel bad I didn't post anything the last few days. And then, of course, tonight we will see you on our live on 3 Mississippi at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I hope you guys are all having a blessed day. And as always, safety's off.